Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joshua Arce of Joshua Reviews, Movies, and More. And today I have a DC news update. So sorry that it's been a while. I meant to get this done alongside a Marvel update a while ago, and alongside some movie reviews. But with school ending and summer starting, it's been very hectic. We've been going to, Universal and things like that. It's been crazy. I'll try to do better over the summer. I'm going to be trying to upload a lot more consistently. But firstly, I wanted to start off today's video by bringing some very sad news in regards to a YouTube legend who has recently passed away, comic historian, aka Ben Potter. Now, I personally did not watch Ben growing up, but when his death was announced on social media, it took the comic book fan world by storm. I share my condolences with the family and friends of him. May he rest in peace, and hopefully he's up there in heaven, chatting away with some other comic book nerds and having the time of his life. But I think the best that we can do is really appreciate his love for comics and making them so accessible for everyone. Because I'm going to be going back and watching his videos now, and I personally never knew of his channel. It was the first time of me ever hearing of it. But I didn't really have a chance to read many comics growing up, and it seems as if he made it accessible for a lot of people. And I think I will be going back and watching some of his legendary videos, in which obviously so many of you loved, but I just never had a chance to learn about him until very recently. So again, I feel so incredibly sorry for everyone that has been having to deal with his death. And apparently, he was involved in a very tragic accident, in which happened to take his life. And that stuff can be very hard to deal with. But hopefully, everyone pushes through, and the comic book world will heal eventually. But as of now, the YouTube comic book world has taken a bit of a hit, as it has for pretty while, with Matt Pat retiring and with so many other people leaving the scene and, passing away. It's been very, very tough for a lot of people and fans. But we're going to get back to life shortly, and we're going to have one of our best summers ever. And 2024 is going to be really, really great, especially for DC content. And I have a lot of DC news coming up here, so let's go ahead and get into some Peacemaker casting news. Alright, now that we got that out of the way and done, we are going to go ahead and get into some Peacemaker casting news. So, DC has officially casted Sol Rodriguez and David Denman in Peacemaker Season 2. It is unknown who will they be necessarily playing, but Gunn has confirmed they will be playing a part in Peacemaker Season 2. Again, why we are getting a second season, I have no idea. But this is just one of my issues with DCU, is that we are getting so many unnecessary projects. Sure, Gunn will say it's necessary because he knows what the plans are, but I just don't see a TV show that was connected to the old universe. I don't see it really making any sense when we get Season 2. I don't know how they're going to explain that. I don't know if they're going to do some fourth wall breaking or something like that, but knowing Peacemaker in that show is probably going to be something very idiotic and stupid on how they explain it. Or, hopefully we get some good and actually some clarity on what happened. And I think that is what we need most. But anyway, regarding Peacemaker Season 2, I have some casting news as well, that Tim Meadows has been cast as Argus agent Langston Fleury in Peacemaker Season 2. Gunn just announced this a few minutes ago as I was writing the script for this video. A lot of things have been announced since I was writing the script for this video. I know Tim Meadows from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's basically the only thing that I've seen him in. So I'm glad that some Brooklyn Nine-Nine actors are getting some love. But you know, we'll see how his role is portrayed in Peacemaker season 2. But let's go ahead and get into some Superman casting news. Alright, so getting into the casting news of Superman, James Gunn has officially assembled his Daily Planet crew. The DC Studios movie has added Michaela Hoover as Cat Grant and Christopher McDonald as Ron Troop. I know who Cat Grant is, but to be completely honest, this was the first time that I was hearing of Ron Troop. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out on screen. Seeing if Christopher McDonald and Michaela will have some scenes together, because it is very weird how they were both announced at the same time. So I'm curious as to if they were maybe seen on set or something, filming a scene or something. I don't know. All I know is that we've gotten very little set leaks of David actually in the suit. So who knows where they got the information from, but James Gunn confirmed it. Maybe it was Gunn himself that tipped, whoever outed it first, whether it was Variety or Hollywood Reporter or something. But the Daily Planet crew has been assembled. I don't know if there's any more to be added to the Daily Planet crew. We already have, Steve Lombard casted. We have so many of these characters already casted and done. So we're going to go ahead and get into some Booster Gold news now. Alright, now that we have that done and out of the way, let's go ahead and get into some Booster Gold news. So, it has been revealed by Nexus Point News that DC Studios has found its writers team for Booster Gold. Danny McBride, Jeff Fardley, and John Carcasseri has been hired to write the series. It'll be interesting to see their take on the character. I'm just waiting to see who will direct the series. I don't know if it'll be Gunn. I don't know if it'll be, someone else who has previously worked on DC projects. I don't know who will be, directing the series, but all I know is that I find Booster Gold to be a very interesting character. This sort of lame dude from the future. It's definitely an interesting concept, but we're just gonna have to wait and see on how it all pans out. So now that we got that done and out of the way, let's go ahead and get into some more Superman news. Alright, let's go ahead and get into some of the Superman news that we have here. So, due to some set photos, we have officially got our first look at the Daily Planet logo in the streets of Metropolis. So, as you can see, it seems as if they pay some homage to Christopher Reeve and Kurt Swan. The only problem I have with the logo is that it genuinely looks like something designed off Canva, which is fine. I use Canva to make my thumbnails, but something a little bit more professional probably would have worked better. Some theories have sparked that maybe the movie takes place in the 70s and maybe that's why it looked so retro, but I think we need a modern Superman. I don't think we should be going back to the 70s, Christopher Reeve sort of. I don't think that this is the route that we should be going. I think we need a modern, grounded Superman within this world of heroes. I think it needs to be taken very seriously. I don't think this movie needs to be goofy at all. I don't want it to be goofy. I want it to be good. I just don't want it to be goofy. And then I have to hear both sides of the fandom going, wah, wah, wah. I just want a good movie, but I don't want it to be silly. That's just all I want. That's all I ask. I don't want it to be silly. Like, when the trunks were announced to be on the suit, I wasn't very happy. I was very anti-trunks. I wanted a belt. That's what I wanted. I wanted something a bit more modern. but it doesn't really seem as if we're going to be getting that with this movie. Maybe this will just be a movie set within the modern era, but have an old-timey feel to it. I don't know. I guess I'll be okay with that a little bit more than I will just it being fully set in the 70s. I think that's just a little bit weird. But let's go ahead and get into the Penguin series news. Alright, so we're gonna keep going, we're gonna keep chilling. This is gonna be some of my last news that I have. I only have a few more things left, and then we're gonna wrap up the video. So we finally have an idea of when the Penguin series will release. Variety has said that it'll release later this year in September on Max. This is one of the few DC projects I'm actually looking forward to. I'll just have to get Max to watch it because I no longer have the subscription that I was using, but hopefully later this year I will be getting it, maybe as like a birthday or like early Christmas present or whatever. But I will definitely be trying to check this out when it releases. And speaking of the Penguin news, I'm going to be having some of the Batman news come up pretty soon, and we're going to be getting into that. But it's actually right after this. So, let's go ahead and hop over to the Batman news. Alright, now that we got that done and out of the way, let's go ahead and start wrapping some things up. So, the Batman Part 2 is officially delayed beyond 2026. The Batman Part 2 faces another delay. You may be thinking, oh, he must be joking. Well, as much as I would want that to be true, it's not. It is delayed once again. Top Film Magazine has come out and said it's still in production, but will face another delay beyond 2026, or October 2026. This film was originally supposed to release next year in the fall, but got pushed back to 2026. Now, this sparked a lot of rumors saying that the film would be canceled. Well, look, James Gunn came out and debunked the rumor on Instagram, replying to a fan if the Matt Reeves Batman trilogy was canceled. Gunn responded simply with, "Of course not." So we'll see. We've seen DC do this before with films like Batgirl and The Flash, where the product gets delayed after delay, where it gets canceled, or it turns out to be a lackluster product. We'll just have to wait and see if Matt Reeves can hold on a little bit longer. Because, obviously with the Flash movie, with so many creative differences and everything, Rick Famuyiwa left the Flash project. And, obviously we would have gotten that movie a lot earlier if Rick Famuyiwa had stayed. And maybe we wouldn't even be going through this reboot right now if Rick Famuyiwa had stayed. I know there were a lot of cool things that they had planned for that movie, including Reverse Flash, the Flash going back in time, etc., etc., etc. In concept, it looked like a very, very fun movie, and hopefully we get to see a very, very fun movie with the Batman Part 2. And hopefully, it won't be delayed any further and it won't be canceled. Let's go ahead and get into some Peacemaker news. So, as if we haven't gotten into already. So, James Gunn will officially direct 3 episodes of Peacemaker Season 2. It was confirmed in the same article confirming the casting of David Denman and Sol Rodriguez that Gunn will go on to direct 3 of the episodes alongside filming Superman. A lot of fans have said over the past few years during Snyder's reign that DC shouldn't be confined to only one director. Well, guys, I need to hear y'all saying the same thing about Gunn. As of now, he's doing Creature Commandos, Peacemaker Season 2, and Superman. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's doing Waller as well. But it has just come out that Greg Moltola will be directing some of the episodes for Peacemaker Season 2, and Gunn also confirmed it all over social media. We are getting a lot of DCU news as I'm recording this video. Wouldn't be surprised if more comes out as I'm in the midst of recording this. But listen, I think you should allow to have more directors have more free reign, right? Like in the Snyderverse, you had David Ayer, you had Patty Jenkins, you had which should have been Rick Famuyiwa, um, you know, uh, James Wan. You had so many directors taking up Snyder's characters, but with Gunn and the DCU, it's only Gunn so far. Uh, and Motala, and Andy Muschietti is doing Batman: Brave and the Bold. But that's really just about it. I mean, it really must be a lot for Gunn to juggle, which is why I don't know why he just doesn't leave some for the rest of us. But he's there doing the work, and hopefully, all of these other different projects doesn't distract him from the main one, Superman. I mean, this is probably Warner Brothers' biggest movie in a long time, and it has a lot of pressure riding on its shoulders. I mean, Warner Brothers is pretty much broke right now. I mean, like it. But when the 300 prequel was announced and Snyder was announced to be coming back to Warner Brothers, it went up significantly. So I don't think it would be too much of a problem for them to give Zack a DC project to work on as well. I mean, have him do whatever he wants. I mean, maybe not the Snyderverse, but what does he want to do? The Dark Knight Returns? Let him do that with Affleck, and then let it be done. Let it be over. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into some Wonder Woman news. Alright, so, for you guys, this is all in the same video, but for me, I'm recording this on a separate day in which I recorded all the other pieces of news. So, we have some Wonder Woman news to go over. Gal Gadot is officially out as Wonder Woman. Gunn has confirmed that Gadot will not return as Wonder Woman. In a reply to a fan on Threads asking, people are spreading the 4chan rumor about Wonder Woman being in Creature Commandos with a certain actress, but I feel like it's safe to assume she hasn't been cast yet, correct? Gunn simply responded with, correct. Look, I like Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. I've seen a lot of people turn on her over the years, saying her only good movie was Wonder Woman, even though the Snyder Cut exists. And it has one of the best character introductions with Wonder Woman in that movie. Sure, there were times in which she didn't have the best movies, like Wonder Woman 84. Of course, but that doesn't mean that she was necessarily bad. That just means that the writers and team around her were bad. Now, I can't really defend the Flash or the Shazam cameos, because those really didn't necessarily mean anything or do anything. Those really didn't add anything to the plot besides Shazam in a way. But Gadot said a few months ago in an interview with Flaunt magazine that Gunn said to her, and I quote, "I was invited to a meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran," Gadot said, "and they told me, and I'm quoting, 'You're in the best hands. We're going to develop Wonder Woman 3 with you. We love you as Wonder Woman. You've got nothing to worry about.' So time will tell." So Gadot was either lying, or Gunn and Safran were lying. I wish someone would come out and just ask Gunn about this quote from her, because it seems as if it's been causing a lot of confusion in the fan base. Certainly me. I would like for it to be put to a rest, because Gadot... It's funny because on the day that the news broke that she wouldn't be returning as Wonder Woman, she posted a picture on her story of an image that popped up on her phone from 8 years ago. I think she was maybe doing a screen test in the Wonder Woman suit, or seeing the Wonder Woman suit for the first time. I don't know, but it's definitely interesting, and we're gonna have to see where it all goes. Hopefully, we get to see her return in some form. I liked her as Wonder Woman. I know a lot of people don't want her to return, and that's fine. But let's go ahead and get into some Creature Commandos news. Alright, so now that we have that done and out of the way, let's go ahead and get into some Creature Commandos news. So, news just dropped as I was writing the script for this video that the Creature Commandos will likely be appearing in Superman. Listen, I get that most of the cast are Superman characters, but you also have Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific, Supergirl, Guy Gardner, etc. I mean, people were mad at Snyder for including Wonder Woman in BVS and claiming that Snyder was running too fast. Meanwhile, everyone is okay with having over a dozen other heroes show up in the first DCU movie, while BVS was only the second DCEU film. I mean, it's unbelievable. This just shows how much people just genuinely hated Snyder and didn't even give the guy a chance. But oh, Gunn can keep his stuff like Peacemaker, Waller, and the Suicide Squad. But like it's all good. And keep absolutely nothing from the DCEU and Snyderverse? I mean, look, I'm hoping for the best, but this is just wrong. Hopefully you guys will see that too. I mean, by the way, it has been confirmed that Cruiser Commandos will release in December 2024. So maybe Superman makes a sort of cameo appearance in that. It depends on which era it's sort of set in. Again, there has been theories circulating that maybe the film is taking place in the 70s, or just feeling very timeless. But we'll just have to wait and see. But let's go ahead and roll out the intro. Alright everyone, that will conclude for today's video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Please let me know down in the comments what you think of this DC news. I'll catch up with you all later. Take care and peace.